Hi everyone, and welcome to Cultivating Culture, hosted by the Missouri Department of Mental Health. My name is Carl Honiger, and if you're new to the show, I will be your companion as we interview various guests to discuss, highlight, promote, and foster a more positive work culture. The show itself highlights efforts undertaken by the Culture Club and ways the department is promoting a positive work culture through various activities in each office. Our hope through each episode is for you to take one or two ideas back to your own office to promote an even stronger work culture. And with that, please feel free to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. On today's show, we're going to share just a little bit of pieces of the puzzle. This is going to be Jess Bax talking with us about several different initiatives and projects within DMH. This includes the DMH Way, ERC within DMH, Culture Club, Engage Meetings, Quarterly Pulse Surveys, also known as QPS, Customer Service, and Org Efficiency. Jess is going to give us a little bit of insight into how all these pieces fit together in order to demonstrate how DMH is actively working to promote a positive work culture through these various initiatives. If you like the content from the show, please see the show resources below. And with that, we hope you enjoy the show.
This next piece that I want to bring us back to is kind of one of those same things in terms of I'm going to need to understand how that all fits together, because right now it seems like a lot of stuff floating in the universe, and let's break down how that all fits together and why this feels like all the same kind of thing. So explain to me how these are different. So will you pull up that slide, Hope, the pieces of the puzzle slide? Awesome, thank you. So this is a slide where we have talked through it once before. So this is, I think, the second time we've talked through it. It is something that's central to Culture Club and what you all are doing. And there's a lot of effort in this same arena, and kind of how do they all fit together? How does it work? So for most of our team members in DMH, they'll hear about the Quarterly Pulse Survey, and then they'll hear about Customer Service Survey and the DMH Way and Culture Club and ERC, and they're like, how are those different? Why are we doing so many different efforts? Can't we just concentrate on one thing? So this is important for me to make sure every one of our team members understands that these efforts are all related and they're all taking us in the same direction. They're not separated and taking us down a different path. They should all work together. So we have a lot of people who are doing that to make sure that there's kind of that seamless work and tie together to make sure all of these things are getting us to the same goal. So if I had to say kind of in one word, what are these, if these are all pieces of the same puzzle, what's the name of the puzzle? It's really operational excellence and continuous improvement. It is making DMH a better place to work through different resources and mechanisms for our team members. This is really the internal for mental health team members continuous improvement. And so just kind of starting with Culture Club, that is an effort in one specific division of BD to say that we want to understand and aim to improve the culture of our division and our workplace. And there's so many different, I remember that first meeting that we had, there's so many different facets of culture, things that feed into culture. And you all worked hard to develop the environmental scans of the different aspects of culture in your area, your offices, your teams. And some of the information that you can gather on the culture is through the local ERC. So I've had the question before, how is the ERC different from the Culture Club? And it's really, ERC is an aspect of culture. It's a temperature check on the health of your culture, and not every ERC has to look the same. The local ERC is meant to be to fit the needs of that office and how they work together. So that's one kind of temperature check that we're doing in the culture in terms of making sure that it's a great place to work and there are activities that bring our offices and our team members together so that we do have that environment where you feel connected, because we know that when we have an environment where people feel connected, that they enjoy work more, they enjoy being on the team, they feel open to ask questions, open to give feedback. Feedback, there's another that kind of crosses over three of these pieces of the puzzle. You've got the quarterly pulse survey that is run through Office of Administration, but the feedback and the results from that filter down to the department. It filters down to you all in the Culture Club to say, here's another temperature check. Here's feedback from our team members at different locations and what they're saying about maybe a different aspect of culture, which could be how I'm feeling about training or my supervisor, and it's done in a path that they express things they may not express during Engage. It's more of that data-driven decisions that we can make about culture and what we can do to make improvements. We've got the customer service survey, which is a little bit more geared towards how is that specific unit doing. Customer service is one of our kind of core values about who we are as a division. And we want to make sure that we know if we're missing something, because we're really aiming to provide great customer service to serve citizens, to serve other units and other team members so they can get their job done. But if we don't have a temperature check on that, how do we know that we're failing? And we all need temperature checks. The best example I have recently is, I drafted a memo and I thought it was very simple. I thought that when providers got it, they were going to be very excited and say, she was listening. This is exactly the feedback that we've given and the information we were needing. So I sent it to do a temperature check for feedback to a couple of providers, and I got the feedback a few days later that they were really concerned, and we needed to talk, and this was not at all. Basically, if I would have sent that out, I would have created like massive frustration. So could not have been more far off. I thought I was doing 100. I had to run it by several other managers here. So it's not exact. I think sometimes people think of that customer survey as like a gotcha for people not, or a certain unit not working well enough or doing their jobs right. But that's not it at all. It is truly the feedback that we need to say from our customers, we think we know what you need. We've tried to talk to you about it and understand your needs, but only you can really tell us if we are capturing your needs. Nothing about me without me. I love that saying, and I think we live it here, and I really like that. The Engage is that one-on-one. We all know what that is, but the DMH way is something that gives us the skills that we need in order to conduct engages. So it's our supervisors. There's a lot of tools in the DMH way, which is really just training for how to connect well with your teams. It's not just for supervisors, it's for all employees. And started off being called the Cardin Group training. So we don't want anybody to think those are two different efforts, but DMH way is like the toolbox of how do you relate well to others? How do you get good feedback? How do you have tough conversations? And the Culture Club has taken it a step further and put those DMH way tools into the toolbox for when you get your environmental scan back on culture. If your culture's suffering in this area or this particular area, then here's some tools to help out with that. So it's like the toolbox of resources. And then over there in the far right corner is organizational efficiency. That's just continuous improvement in terms of the structure and our process. And the division, I'm so proud of the work the division has done. And the most recent one being the regional offices, talking through their organizational efficiency and how that looks different with all of the different teams having centralized and being specialized and making sure that we have consistency among different regions. It's left some gaps. And I think that they had a really great plan in terms of the organizational efficiency moving forward for the regional offices. So it also feeds into the culture. It's one of those things that we know that the way that we're organized and the way that our processes work and how that's going to change over time, change management, how employees feel about change, that's all part of culture too. So I'm probably way over my allotted time, Heike, but I did want to really talk through how these fit together so that everybody's on the same page and we're all level set on that, because it is one of those things where it's like, I might need a chart for that. And I might need a refresher on how do these all fit together. So pieces of the OpEx puzzle. There we go. We'll go with that.
Hey everyone, this concludes our show. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to learn more about creating a positive work culture. If you like the show, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe feature on your device to learn more about additional shows as they come out in the near future. And please also check out the show notes below for any additional resources discussed in this episode. And with that, please go out and make not only your day great, but someone else's day great as well. Thanks.